Today we're talking about a Spitfire Audio Labs Tape Orchestra. So this plugin is absolutely free. And if you guys want to know how it works, what it does, how to use it, all that good stuff, stick around after this introduction to find out. What's going on, everybody? I'm Dan Spencer, and I am the Audio Sorcerer. So this is a channel where I teach you how to perfect your audio recording, mixing, and mastering skills. So before we get to the video, make sure you guys smash that like button, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to know I have new videos coming out. So without further ado, today we are talking about the new Spitfire Audio Labs Tape Orchestra. So this plugin is kind of interesting. So let me actually read the write-up on it so you can kind of know what it does. So basically what they did was they took a selected range of orchestra and synth recordings and they fed them through a pre-distressed cassette and tape loops via an old school Tascam Portastudio, which is kind of cool because my first 4-track recorder was a Tascam Portastudio. And the tapes were crinkled to create distorted textures, evoking a sense of fragility and nostalgia, okay? So these orchestra sounds are not gonna be your go-to sounds for like strings you would use in a, like pop recording or an orchestra recording for that matter. These are more like textures that you're gonna maybe layer in with those sounds or you're gonna make soundscapes with per se, okay? And I went through all the presets within this plugin to kind of play around with it, and they're pretty cool. I like it. So, but I can definitely vouch. They're more textures than anything. So what I'm gonna do first in this tutorial / review is I'm gonna take you through the interface here, pretty much just the main section of it here so you know how it works. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna play for you a little 3-track recording I made using 3 presets within this plugin here, so you can get a good idea of what it sounds like, okay? So first, let's go over the interface. So for the interface, let's start with this fader here where my mouse is at. This is just your volume fader. This should pretty much always be at 100%. And then next to that, this is actually your dynamic range fader. It's kind of weird. So the manual describes it as it will limit the lowest velocity playable, essentially acting as a dynamic range compressor. So the more you lower this down here, the more compression you're gonna get, the more kind of dull it's gonna sound. I actually like this on the higher end of things, so hence why it's at 100%. Also, it's part of this preset. So you're gonna see, as in most of these presets in this tutorial, it's gonna be around 100%. So this rotary knob here, this is where most of the magic happens in this plugin. If you hit this middle button here, you get access to variation, reverb, attack, decay, sustain, and release. So your variation here is exactly what it says. So the higher you make this, the more variations you're gonna get when you play notes. And then of course, if you lower it all the way to the bottom, you're not gonna get any variations. For reverb, this is how much reverb you want in the sound that you're playing. And then you got attack, decay, sustain, and release as mentioned. That's your ADSR, and that's basically how you are shaping your sound. So that's, how we are making the sound actually sound. So that's actually one of the most important things when it comes to this plugin and how we are designing the sound, all right? So the only other thing that I would say you need to pay attention to in this plugin would be you have a reverb option up here at the top. So if you click here, you got these 5 different options for reverb here, okay? So that is the interface in a nutshell. So what I wanna do now is we are going to listen to my little recording I did here. It is basically, like I said, 3 tracks. There's kind of like a baseline track that is playing kind of straight chords. And then there's this melodic note part that is playing kind of something syncopated. So they kind of are playing off of each other. So it's kind of interesting. So I hope you guys like it. I just wrote it before I made this video. So I was kind of put on the spot. So yeah, so here is what the Spitfire Audio Labs Tape Orchestra sounds like. so that was my cute little demo song there. And I know I talked about textures earlier in the tutorial, and I didn't obviously do that in this little demo song I had because I wanted to let you guys hear something interesting, and textures would be kind of maybe boring to listen to in a demo song. But with that being said, I still do believe these are best used as textures in your music, in your soundscapes, in your music for film, etc. Okay. So one thing I thought would be fun to do to close out this tutorial is this particular preset I have here that says Vox Humana here. I made a modification to it. So let me open up this setting here for the attack. So the attack I have all the way down, which means it's on its fastest setting. So it was a little bit slower, maybe around here on the preset. But when I heard this sound, it actually reminded me of a Owl City synth. So I don't know if any of you guys listened to Owl City in the past, or if you guys listen to Owl City now. It just kind of brought back some nostalgia for me. So I was actually like, that's kind of cool. So he uses a lot of sweeping pads in his music. So what I want to do is we're going to solo this up here, and we're actually going to slow down the attack, maybe bring it all the way up to the middle level here, and it's going to create a really cool sweeping pad. And I'll let you guys hear what it sounds like. So let's give it a listen. All right, so that was just me playing around with the attack time there. And that might have been more for beginners to kind of see what your attack can actually do for a synth sound like that here. I know if you guys have been doing this for a long time, you already know that you can kind of create that kind of sweeping sound when you mess with your attack time for synths. But hey, if you're new to this, there you go. You learned something new today. So yeah, so this is the Spitfire Labs Tape Orchestra. This plugin is absolutely free, so definitely go down to my link in the description below and go pick it up for yourselves. If you guys ended up liking this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel because I love making this content for you, and definitely hit that notification bell to know when I have new videos coming out. So with that being said, until the next video, I'll see you guys later, and peace out.